Stupidest criminals of all time. Chat, let's go.
Matthew
Bro.
McNally and Joey Miller robbed a home in Iowa using masks.
Bro, what the hell? Bro, first of all, we're already getting started, but like, what? Like, did they just draw on their face? Like, they trying to be black or something? Like, is this like a blackface? Because they're robbing, so they're trying to be black? Yo, what?
Drawn onto their faces with permanent black marker. Whilst on the run, the two discovered that permanent black marker doesn't rub off easily, leading to their simple arrest and embarrassingly stupid mugshots. However, these two still look like geniuses in comparison.
Bro really wants to say the N-word?
We'll be talking about as we discuss the stupidest criminals of all time. Take for example MacArthur Wheeler, who robbed 2 banks in broad daylight as he thought that pouring lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras. When shown the bank surveillance footage, Wheeler refused to believe that he was visible, stating to officers, "But I wore the juice," believing that as
What? He's literally trying to convince the police. Bro, I put lemon juice on my face, so there's no way they saw me, bro.
As long as he didn't come near a heat source, he should have been completely invisible. Police concluded that
watching me have 1.2K sub. Hey, W nonsensical.
Mistaken, with the lemon juice mistake eventually costing Wheeler a 24.5-year prison sentence. However, if we're on the topic of terrible disguises, then we can't go past Dennis Hawkins, whose disguise as an old lady wasn't much better. His photo accompanied fake boobs, a full beard, and fitting with clown pants, with this insanely recognizable outfit, helping police to catch Hawkins only an hour after the robbery. The police chief of the
bro thought he was Medea trying to get away with it, bro.
area stated he would get my nomination for dumbest criminal, I think. You still have his black facial hair with a blondish wig. Definitely different. Different is also a good way to describe Patrick McGuire's disguise, who robbed an Illinois convenience store while covering his face with a clear plastic bag.
Oh my god! He was only able to obtain
$60 from
Bro, what is wrong with these niggas, bro? What is wrong with these niggas? Literally, you're wearing a clear plastic bag.
His face with a clear plastic.
Bro, he really went in and was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it, bro. This is it. They're never gonna find me. They're never gonna find me.
Bag. He was only able to obtain $60 from the robbery. However, due to his extensive criminal history,
and he only got $60.
15 years in prison for the stunt, meaning that he had to spend
Imagine spending 15 years in prison for $60 that you stole. You only stole 60.
Year in prison for every $4 stolen from the store. Talk about a bad return. Equally bad was Paul Sinclair's, who attempted to rob a bank in Florida by using his fingers curled up into a gun shape. The quote-unquote weapon was so non-threatening that the bank teller gave him only $120, after which he'd flee on foot before being caught by police only 10 minutes later.
Wait, so bro just went in a bank and went like this? What?
Then there was James Blankenship,
Bro thinks
who
he's
thought
John
that
Wick.
robbery was legal as long as you did it at a certain time of day. Back
He
in
thought
2013,
robbery was legal.
Blankenship broke into his own mother's home, after which the police were called, who would take to their Facebook page later that day to explain what had happened. He fled the scene upon seeing his mother. The male was located under the house hiding in a crawl space. When advised of his charges, he made the statement, "I thought you could only be charged with burglary if you break in during the night time."
Oh, bro.
Blankenship was
I thought he was gonna say, you only get arrested if you're black.
180 days in jail and ordered to pay a $100 fine, yet this wasn't the only time when a person was dumb enough to think that a law didn't apply to them. Because when Reuben Pavan was caught stealing from a charity thrift shop in New Hampshire, he'd state that he thought everything was free because of the name of the business, Finders Keepers.
Their brains are social distancing.
So I took that DVD player, took it home, Pavan told the local TV station. A couple of weeks later, the stuff is still there on the porch, so I'm thinking to myself, Finders Keepers. They probably just put stuff out there for people to take.
Oh my god, really, bro?
Facebook stating, "This man who was caught on video is saying it is all a misunderstanding. He thought everything at our store was free. Is that really the best defense he could come up with?"
What kind of stupid ass thing is that, bro? Like, what store do you go to and it's free? What store? Please tell me. I will go right now. Please tell me what store.
Stolen goods to police, holding that he's not a bad person or a bad dad, and is rather
yes,
just
he is. He's a bad
stupid.
daddy.
But was he as dumb as Derek Mosley?
Oh my
who
god,
in 2013 attempted to rob a store
not my
named
people.
Discount Gun Sales by using a baseball bat. When Mosley allegedly barged into Discount Gun Sales and smashed a display counter with his baseball bat, the store manager simply pulled out his own personal firearm and pointed it straight at the would-be robber, holding Mosley in the store until he was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery. A similar story then came out of Texas in July 2022 when a gun store was robbed at knife point, although this tale instead ended in a body bag as the...
How do you go to a gun store and try to rob it with a knife? Nigga, huh?
robber was fatally shot by the store owner.
Bro, you gotta come in there with an RPG, nigga.
But what happens when you accidentally call 911 whilst committing a crime? Pocket dialing the police is probably a fairly common occurrence. However, for Carson Reinhardt and Nathan Teklemariam, it happened at the most unfortunate moment, specifically while they were breaking into a car. The alert dispatcher soon realized that the call was an accidental one, and moreover that the guys on the other end might be up to no good. For the next 35 minutes, the dispatcher stayed on the line, listening and gathering information, as Teklemariam and Reinhardt did the following. Discovered a car that they thought they could burglarize, discussed how to break into the car, allegedly broke into the car, exclaimed in delight over finding narcotics in the car, became confused as to how and why a police car was following them, and reacted in disbelief when the arresting officer revealed that they'd been on the line to 911 the entire time.
That's crazy,
found
bro.
himself in a similar situation,
what a dumbass.
although under much more severe circumstances. Whilst on trial for murder in 2015, Scott was successfully sentenced to life in prison, as 2 years prior he'd pocket dialed the police while admitting to a friend that he was the one who committed the crime.
Oh my god.
He had no idea he called 911. A sheriff's officer.
Bro, this is Mario Jr.
He basically told on himself, as did Albert Bailey, although in a much stupider way. Bailey had planned on robbing a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut, although rather than exercising the element of surprise, he'd call the bank prior to the robbery stating, "I want $100,000 in large bills and no die packs. I'll be sending someone into the bank to get the money. Don't call the police, we are monitoring the police scanner." Prior to making this phone call, Bailey had already served 7 years in prison for a previous bank robbery. However, this new plan was equally ineffective, as after arriving at the bank to collect his cash, Bailey was locked inside, arrested, and sentenced to another 9 years in prison. Although, if he wanted to avoid this time behind bars, he could have had a chat with Tito and Amanda Watts, who got arrested in Florida for selling tickets to the dumbest criminals right now of $100. Tito Watts said in his police statement, "I don't care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold, and it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC and said to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space."
Okay, bro, stop, bro. I'm tired. Why do people use like God and stuff to like make the excuse for like all the stupid shit they do and like what? Yo, God told me to just put in his butt. Like what? What are you talking about, bro? Zane. Oh yeah, Zane, what's good? What's good? You finally found out how to type. Let's go. I'm okay. Des, why are you just okay, man? What's good?
Jesus, because he's the one who gave me the golden tickets and said to sell them. I'm willing to wear a wire and set Jesus up. The couple had apparently earned over $10,000 from the stunt, meaning that they were able to find people even dumber than them. One of which
not the drawing on the face again.
Zarate. While attempting to rob a muffler shop in 2008, Zarate was told that the shop couldn't access the money.
Zarate? Zarate like karate? Like karate? Zarate. Nigga, huh?
Safe without their manager, who didn't begin his shift until later that afternoon.
I feel that, Des.
Instead
I feel that, bro.
on the robbery, Zarate instead gave them his phone number,
we're here for
asking them to give him a ring the next time the manager was in. They did so later that afternoon, although after returning to the store, Zarate received no money and was instead met by police and charged with aggravated robbery. Then there was the man who gave the people he was robbing something even stupider. The unnamed robber walked into a London bank carrying a gun and a bag, which he'd take to the front desk before demanding £700,000 in cash from the bank worker. But after making his demands, the crook handed over his gun to the cashier instead of the bag. Investigating authorities stated, the guess is that he is very inexperienced and panicked.
Bro, wait, so he went and tried to rob them, and instead of giving them the bag to put the money in, he gave him his own gun? Wait, hold on. I gotta say, wait, hold on. After making his demand, the crooks was wearing shit like it. He handed over his gun and said, "Oh my gosh."
Investigating authorities
dummy,
stated,
bro.
the guess is that he is very inexperienced and panicked when he approached the cashier, handing over his gun instead of a bag.
Bro thought this was GTA RP,
Trevor
bro.
Jones who left an even more damning piece of evidence at his crime scene. After breaking into a house in Atlanta, Jones took a moment to check his Facebook on the owner's computer before leaving without logging out.
What the fuck? What? What? Bro. What? Bro robbed somebody and logged into his Facebook on their computer.
Out. Less than 3 years later, a similar story entered news headlines, reading a 26-year-old Minnesota man has been tracked down by police after leaving his Facebook profile logged in at a house.
And he left it logged in. He didn't even log out too. Bro, this thing is stupid, bro.
This story has a
This thing is stupid, bro.
The homeowner decided to message the robber via his Facebook, stating, "You left a few things at my house last night. How can I get them back to you?" Which was followed by the robber agreeing to come back to the home so he could collect the stuff he forgot.
Ain't no way.
The robber didn't get any of his items back and was instead arrested while still wearing a watch that he'd stolen from the night before. While both of these idiots used social media poorly,
bro.
at least they didn't brag about the robbery in a YouTube video, as is what happened in the bizarre case of Hannah Sabata.
Alright, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Just look at it. Look at her face, bro. Just look at her face, bro.
In a YouTube video, as is what happened in the.
This does not surprise me, bro. I don't know why. I don't know why this just does not surprise me, bro.
Case of Hannah Sabata. In 2012, at the age of 19, Sabata stole $6,000 from a bank in Nebraska. While almost anybody else would have simply kept quiet, Hannah instead took to her YouTube channel Jelly Beanie to upload a video titled Chick Bank Robber, in which she'd straight up admit to having just committed a robbery. She'd then discuss her entire methodology for the crime while showing the money and the amount that had been stolen, before concluding the video by describing the vehicle she had used and that it had its license plates removed. This information eventually resulted in Hannah Sabata's arrest and sentencing of 10 to 20 years prison, done so in a public courtroom filled to maximum capacity with people who had seen the video. Just 2 years prior to this, 21-year-old Frank Singleton was being released from Palm Beach County Jail, having just served time for a trespassing charge. The only issue was he didn't have a car to leave the jail, so he decided to steal one from the visitors' parking lot, yet the car he decided to steal was a manual and he could only drive auto. Singleton sat in the car looking like an idiot before being arrested and sentenced to a further 6 years in prison, telling deputies that he tried to take the car because he didn't feel like walking to his home about 6 miles away.
Bro really tried to make an excuse for stealing a car, bro. He said, "Oh yeah, I didn't feel like walking, so I thought I could just, steal somebody's car. Like I thought this was GTA, bro. I thought this was fucking GTA."
That these criminals can't get any dumber, it's time to introduce 53-year-old Michael Anthony Fuller. While it's common knowledge that the US banknote doesn't go any higher than $100, Fuller had the genius idea to create a counterfeit $1 million note before trying to use it at his local Walmart. He loaded his cart with a vacuum cleaner, a microwave, and various other items totaling $472 before handing the $1 million note to the cashier, expecting $999,528.
Oh my god, how
Needless to say, Walmart wasn't able to facilitate this, and instead store staff called police. Fuller was later charged with attempting to obtain property by false pretense.
Bro, what a $900,000 in change? Nah, these motherfuckers stupid, bro. Yo, if you guys want me to react to any other SUNNYV videos, these are interesting as hell, but make sure you comment down below, you know what I'm saying, follow the Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.